Hi everyone, my name's Amanda. I've been asked by Zana to answer a few questions about Slim by Nature and my experience so far. So the first question was, what was the problem that I had before I actually purchased Slim by Nature for the first time in January of this year? Over the last few years, 10 years probably since having children, I have increasingly gained weight, much to my displeasure. I reached a weight a few years ago that made me very unhappy, and I tried a different weight loss program. Didn't work. It did work in the first month, and then the weight just piled back on. So I actually reached a point where I was 83 to 83.5 kilos, and I just didn't like it, and I wasn't very happy with myself. So ran into a old school friend at a reunion. She's on here. It's Kat. And she was telling me how fantastic this program was, and she looked amazing, and she was just glowing at our reunion last year, so she highly recommended it for me. I joined the group, had a look at the positive vibes that were going on in the group, and was quite impressed. So come January, I decided I'm going to bite the bullet and just give it a go. My results so far on the program, today is day 22 for me. I started the program, I think it was the 28th of January, with everybody else for the 10-week challenge. And so far, to date, I have lost 6 kilos. So 3 weeks and 6 kilos, I think is pretty good. I did have a bit of a plateau this week where I didn't really lose very much at all. A couple of 100 grams, and I sort of went up and down a little bit, but I'm sure that everything's going to get back on track next week. I've already seen great improvements so far, and I'm happy to date with the results. The reason why I didn't buy the program earlier was because I was a little bit skeptical. I think as many people probably would be. I had never heard of Slim by Nature or SBN before. Kat introduced me to it, like I said, in probably mid-December, early December. And I did a bit of Googling and read some articles on it and saw that lots of people were having fantastic results. But then it was coming up to Christmas and it was New Year. So I did what probably most people would do and think, I'm not doing a diet over Christmas and New Year, I'm going to enjoy myself. So I made a mental note to actually change the way that I looked at food over Christmas and New Year. I didn't go crazy, but I didn't deny myself special treats. I still had desserts. I still had lots of potato bake, which is my favourite. And I did indulge myself in a few alcoholic beverages, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one that did that over the Christmas and New Year period. So then come January, probably New Year's resolution, I just wasn't happy in my clothing. I didn't like the way I looked in photos that people had taken, and decided this is time for me. What I liked most about Slim by Nature is probably the fact that you still eat on this detox. This is not a shake diet. This is not a starvation diet. I have seen and tried many things in the past where you have to substitute meals for diet shakes, and although you do have a very fast weight loss drop the minute you start eating normally, it comes back on, and I don't believe in those. And I also don't believe in fasting where you have absolutely nothing, which is another few diet detox slim programs that I have seen in the past. And at least this one, yes, it's a detox. You do have apple days, but you still eat. You can eat 6 apples in that 24-hour period and you won't go hungry. Some of the benefits of Slim by Nature that I have had so far is a lot clearer skin. I have always had a problem with my skin. I really break out around that time of month. I have noticed a huge clearance in my skin, and it feels great. It feels softer. Other people have noticed a difference, which is fantastic. I sleep like a baby. When I go to bed, I literally am asleep within 10 minutes, and that never happened. I could lie asleep for half hour, 40 minutes. Not asleep, lie awake for half hour, 40 minutes until I fell asleep. And then I'd wake up and I'd be tired the next day. So the sleep that I have had since starting this program has been phenomenal and really, really great. And obviously, I'm losing weight and I'm still eating, and that's fantastic. So, yeah, the weight loss is really fantastic that you do see on here, and it happens quickly, which is, you know, such a motivation when you are doing any type of a diet. If I was to recommend Slim by Nature to my best friend, which I sort of have tried to do over the last couple of weeks, she's asking me lots of questions, I would honestly just say, do it. Just do it. Don't question it. Just give it a go. I mean, there's nothing to lose apart from weight. So don't wait. Just do it. What was my favourite part of Slim by Nature so far? Probably, as I said earlier, the fact that I can still eat. I get up in the morning and I look forward to having my oranges or my apples, and Zana would be very proud of me. I actually bought grapefruit yesterday and I'm planning on trying it tomorrow, although when I tried it a few years ago I wasn't happy with the taste, but I'm going to give it a go. And the fact that I can still have a little bit of morning tea, I can still have lunch. If I'm hungry in afternoon tea, there's an option there. And then dinner, and 100 grams of protein and 125 grams of vegetables or salad. Doesn't seem like much, but you would be surprised at how much veggies and salad you actually get in that amount, and it fills you up. So that's something that I think is a fantastic part of Slim by Nature. You're not hungry. You might miss adding a few sauces here and there, but trust me, I'm nearly a month in and I look at my kids adding crazy amounts of sauce to their food and just think, wow, I really don't want to go back to doing that. And you taste the food for what it actually is. You know, you only add a little bit of chili, a bit of garlic, a bit of ginger, a few shallots, some herbs, salt and pepper, and food actually tastes amazing. You don't have to add 20 things to make it taste fantastic. My life now is fantastic. I mean, my life wasn't bad before, but my life now is great. I'm not going to the fridge. I've found out that although I thought I had a healthy diet, I think I must have been a bit of a boredom eater, and I'm not a chocolate fan. I've never really been a chocolate fan, but I love savoury items. I love nuts, crackers, and soft cheeses are my downfall. So I would go to the fridge and get like cheese or dip and crackers or savoury nuts, and I would just munch on them and nibble on them. And I'm finding now, when I do feel a little bit peckish, I go and either cut a slice of lemon or lime or orange maybe as a citrus, add it in my fancy glass, which I'm using my Tupperware wine glass. I saw it on one of the motivational photos from the site, and sip that, and it makes me feel special because it's in a special glass and it's so refreshing. So I am trying to kick that habit of boredom, or as some people would say, probably emotional eating. What surprised me the most about this detox program is the fact that you see results so quickly and you're not actually, you know, starving yourself or having shakes and crazy things. Like I said before, I was skeptical. I'm not going to lie. I saw some photos and I saw people writing things, and I thought, oh, it's so easy to sit behind a keyboard and say that these things are happening, or that they have happened when actually they haven't. But after the first week, I was down 3 kilos after I think about 8 days, and I did bounce up a little bit, probably about 1.2 kilos, but then I lost it again, and it's just gradually going down. So it surprised me that it is so quick, and it is such a drastic change on some days on that scale that you sort of hop back off and get back on it and weigh yourself again and go, wow, that's actually me, that has happened. So I think that's really positive and fantastic. And what's made me the happiest probably is the fact that in the last few days my clothes are fitting so much better. I got to the point where my wardrobe was starting to get really tight and a bit uncomfortable, and I'm now sort of baggy, and not excessively baggy, but so much more comfortable. And some friends that I saw at Christmas time and just before Christmas, we run into each other probably 4 or 5 days ago, just in this last week, and there's been a few people now that have actually said to me, wow, you actually look really great. What are you doing? You know, you look like you've lost weight, you just look really good, and you seem to have a glow about you. So I think if that continues, I've still got another, 38 days. I've chosen to do the 60-day detox. So my goal weight is to get down into the 60s. At the moment, I'm sitting around 76, and I really want to kick this last 6 or 7 kilos and be happy sitting back in the 60s. And if I can continue to look sort of glowing and happy and lose weight, then I'm going to be pretty ecstatic at the end. So if in doubt, give it a go. I can't recommend it enough. It's working for me so far. Thanks, guys.